What is going on, everybody? Ian here, and I am continuing to work on the shop and get it set up and ready for the projects that I have coming. And I have 2, possibly 3, if not more, shell lifts within the immediate future already lined up. And in the past, with the previous ones, I had done kind of the building the internal wood frame and using the pole jacks method, which, works fine.
That's a little nerve-wracking. You can see those curves right there.
Yeah. You better rethink this, man. Honestly.
There were 3 of us did, and we each have projects.
Really?
Let's go back down and set it back down on the front.
Everyone else has
But we're getting serious now. I mean, I'm not playing around anymore. It's time to get out the big guns. So, that's right. So I purchased 2 of these 750-pound electronic hoists that are going to be mounted up in the ceiling. And I'm going to set this down so I can continue talking because it's pretty heavy. I already have one up there. You can kind of see it up mounted in the ceiling. And I'm going to put another one, you can't see the shot, but it's going to be roughly, I think 10 to 12 feet out from it. And what I want to be able to do is basically have them stationary and then have, like through the AC or skylight or sun or fan rather, holes in the roof whenever I'm doing the shell. I'm going to have like a, 8x2 piece of wood going the entire length of the shell, and then have those spots where we can hook the hoist into and just bring it up and lift it up off and not have anything inside the shell underneath. I may, depending on which ones, this particular one has the side wrap that goes down, so I'll have to put some wood framing so it can sit down on that. But then I can just lift it off, pull the frame out, and get to work on everything. So I'm really excited. I wanted to show you guys putting it in, and then I'll show you the first time we use it when we lift the shell off this thing, which I'm going to do this next week. So this video is going to be kind of spread out over the course of a week. So today, right now, I'm going to build the mount for this and work on getting it wired up, all of that. Unfortunately, hold on one second.
A few moments later.
So unfortunately, the controls that these have, it's got like a 3-foot cord on it, and I don't know what they were thinking. As you can see, I cut this one off already, but it doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Like if you have it in any sort of a tall ceiling, it wouldn't reach. So I'm going to extend it out. I'm having to put a extension cord and stuff up there to reach both of them and all that. So getting all that knocked out, and then this thing is going to be in business to lift some shells. I'm excited. Well, for some reason my camera cut off recording at like 1.5 minutes whenever I started this whole process. So long story short, I'm fabricating on the ground because I'm finishing out my whole metalworking, welding, etc. station. I'm going to have like a welding table, workbench, all that good stuff over there. But for right now, I don't. So I'm roughing it, doing it on the ground. But I got the thing tacked up, and I need to take it up and put it in the rafter. There's a little bit of an angle with the 2 rafters, and so it's basically like sitting in between them. So that adds some strength so it can't pull down. And so I got to adjust these to fit that, and then drill holes, and then put some cross bracing, and then it'll be ready to paint and bolt up, and then install the hoist. So trying to make everything relatively straightforward and simple. Don't waste too much time on this so I can get to the real work. Well, there it is, all welded up. Then I just need to drill the holes here and then pick it up and drill the holes up there. And then I gotta paint it. So I don't know if I'll get it painted today, just because I probably can't hear, but there's a thunderstorm rolling in. There's been some lightning and it's starting to rain, so probably not the best day to paint, but soon. So they're now mounted and all wired up and ready to go. And they work, yay! So, shop is now ready to do some shell lifts. So this one's gonna be coming back in here, and that's the first thing that has to happen is I'm gonna pull the shell off of it and then clean up the frame and go from there. Now is the time to try out my new shell lift secret weapon. So I have this 1966 Airstream Ambassador, and if you watched a previous video whenever we brought this in, I talked about how I'm going to be replacing the subfloor in it and some other stuff. So I need to build some bracing inside of it, because once I get the shell off, I need to be able to set it back down. And with these ones, the skins actually wrap down below the C-channel, and so you have to have something for it to sit on. So I'm going to basically use 2x4s and have them go up to the ribs and cross, so then it can sit back down on that and then pull the frame out. This thing has like 2 bolts and a few rivets up front that are holding it together, so it won't take long to get it off. So I'm going to knock that stuff out, and then I'll make the cross beam that we're actually going to use to like wrap chains around and hold on to it to bring it up. So I'm going to get that stuff done, and then we'll lift it up and see how well these new hoists work. So everything is now ready. I have all the internal framing done, and I have the main beam. Let's see if I can get it to show it. Main beam that the hoists are going to pull up on. And right now it's setting on the internal supports. I'm gonna bring it up to where it's up on the roof and in the ribs. And then that will be the mechanism to lift it. And that is it's a 12 by 2 by 12 feet, I think, board, or 10, something like that. And then I put a 2 by 10, or 2 by 4 by 10 in the middle of it, and then additional 10 by 2s that are in like 3-foot sections on the ends, just to kind of give it some additional structure. So it's like a double layer, so it's almost like a 4 by 10-ish. So that should be more than strong enough. These shells don't really weigh that much, all aluminum. And then it has the feet to sit back down on once we get the frame out from underneath it. But I do believe that it is time for liftoff. Okay, so we got the beam up in place. So we got the chains, everything's secure. So now we're ready. We're ready for this. there's some wire tucked up over here still. I wish these things would go slower. Well, it landed back down.
At least it hit the ground.
Yeah.
At least it didn't. The motor engine just didn't blow up. Then it just fell to the ground. Now we got an Airstream with no base.
Move it a little bit.
I saw it leaning towards me and I'm like, oh, get them, mommy.
So that wasn't too bad, and this was way easier than the previous method I did, and a lot less, you know, deadly, since that one got real sketch whenever we first got it up in the air. My only things I really want to be able to, whether it's like rewire the controller or get a different one or something like that, because the hoists just, they're too jerky, and it's kind of like all on or all off. There's no, you know, you can't ease into it. There's no adjustable speed, and the speed is pretty fast, as you could probably tell in the video. So if I could, in some way, like rewire that to where it's a little bit slower, that would be great. But other than that, I mean, I think whenever I go back down on, I'm gonna bring it down most of the way and then put the pole jacks in to do like the last 6 to 10 inches and get it into position that way, instead of trying to, because there's just no way I'm gonna be able to like manage it coming down that fast and get into position properly. So just little tweaks. If that ultimately can't work, I may do, I don't know if I could put like a additional chain thing on there, but that kind of defeats all of this, so we'll see. Either way, it works great. It's on the ground, we're nice and secure. I'm leaving the hoists in there and everything, and now I need to get onto the frame and get rust off that, fix any outriggers, and then just start cranking on it. It doesn't look like it needs much in the way of welding repair, but we'll see. So I'm gonna get that going, and that'll be in a future video. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.